Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Grade Ace Attorney Chronicles. I don't know what that accent was. Let's just continue on where we left off. There's been an unfortunate case of potentially self-inflicted gunshot wounds. After them. Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry! Yeah, Holmes said that. It's Gina. From that moment, Windybank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn, before I was allowed back into my lodgings at 221B. Oh, Iris. A telegram came, but all it said was, "Wait at home." Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Bruno? Poor Iris, she's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything, and then I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windybank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. I guess he finally made good on that threat to end his life. Okay, that was a terrible time to make that joke. I apologize. Oh, yes, I had a feeling. You did? Well, I saw those police carriages pulling up outside his shop, so I knew something must have happened there. When we entered Windybanks in the small hours, we disturbed the gang of two thugs. They ran out onto the street, and I chased after them, but they got away. So, it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windybank, I suppose. I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Oh, why not? They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina. Ginny? But why? Well, the thing is... No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that. I know. None of us think she did it. Then why have they arrested her? I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to hospital this morning. What? Well, when we entered Windybanks, a gun was fired and he took a bullet. Hurley was shot. No. It's alright. His life isn't in danger. Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital? He's at St. Sinners. They're tending to him there. I must see him. At once. I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. To operate? Oh, poor Hurley. There was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windybank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them! Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but... well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away. I think... that's a very good thing. Sorry? Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them... he might have been shot as well, Bruno. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Oh, Iris. Where's Susie, Bruno? She's still at the police station. Oh, why? I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Why aren't you there then? Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Mr. Sato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later. Ah, I see. Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early. You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they? No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris. This is all so horrible. The thing is, Mr. Windybank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles, and the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I see. But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no! And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards... Don't tell me. There was no one else in that room? Yes, exactly. How did you know? It's the only explanation. Yes. The only explanation indeed. What do you mean by that, Bruno? Well? What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment, but I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on. I want to go too. Take me with you, Bruno. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder, but I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me. Oh yes, I'd love to. Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed. And don't forget we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation. I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Well... before we do that though... are we allowed to peek at this yet? Oh, this looks like a telegram. It is, but you mustn't open it, not under any circumstances. Alright, I won't. Now then, let's see. No, what did I just say? You mustn't open it. Don't worry, I won't. With this special concoction I've developed, I'll be able to see through the envelope without having to open it. No, that's not allowed either. Oh, but I'm sure it's something important. Little geniuses sure can be mischievous. Okay, Runo himself won't let us see it. I bet that's relevant. Right, chat? They're making a big deal out of the telegram, it's probably relevant at some point. Oops. Accidentally pressed on it again, my bad. Alright. Well, I guess I can go to the hospital first, right? We'll put Iris' mind at ease. Hurley! Oh. He's not here. No. That's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she? Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home. I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Shom suffered. Oh. Hello, Wavy. This ward is off limits, no visiting. So what are you doing here, eh? Well, I'll have you know. We're Hurley's next of kin. Eh? Oh, I'm begging your pardon then, ma'am, sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. A great mystery solver and has a mysterious family, eh? If that's how you see us, sure. Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley? I believe he's currently in the operating theater, ma'am. Undergoing an extensive operation. Extensive? It has been several hours since he went in. Oh dear. Is he going to be alright? Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is. Oh. I've heard a report that a gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Anyway, I think it will be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later. Oh, poor Hurley. Oh well. Man's had too much coffee and he... Wait. Actually, legitimate question. Does consuming a lot of caffeine actually have, like, effects on anesthetic? Do they I mean, I guess they tell you not to eat and drink before surgery in general, but I'm wondering... Now they've got me thinking whether caffeine would actually reduce the effect of anesthetics. Like, you know, in modern ones. Anyways. Hello, Gina. Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made. I wish she would have pointed at me all the time, though. What are you here for? Ginny. I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So you were thinking that we might be able to help you. Well, you can't. Sorry. Here, get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't. Think you know me. Pull the other one. Oh. You ain't got the first idea what the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw me chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay me hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am. But Ginny... I'll be in court tomorrow, that's it. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me anymore, obviously, if she tried. Why are you being like this, Ginny? Here, take a look at my attorney's badge. Not. Did you ever look at strange with my armband on? What's the problem? Something wrong? I suppose you're looking for this? Oh, she stole it again. And how again? Sparking of black magic. I was about to offer to defend you, but okay. Let's talk. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? You wanted me to sign some papers. Representation papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway, the whole trial. You're pinning on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that? 'Cause that's how it always been for me, growing up in the back slums my whole life. You do what the grown-ups tell you, get your mates dragged off by the coppers, or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. And sold out and nearly snapped on the back of it. You can trust no one, that's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass. Dead. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could... Forget it. Ginny! Don't you trust Runo? Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night, at the pawnbroker's. There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and... you know the rest. But why, Ginny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for $1 or $2. Diving ain't easy, you know. It's been a lot of work. And half the time you don't even get nothing. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest. What'd be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me? Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies. I have. But what do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies? What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? Maybe we can help. Sorry. We're out of time. You're gonna wanna question me now. Ginny, please. Oh, yeah. I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by. A photographic print of a really adorable cat. Found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point in me having it. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of that overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Ginny. This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks a little like Wagahai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside the heat of Kotatsu's blanket when it snowed. Maybe British cats are different. Fair. Alright, what's on the back? Let's see. Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it. 13th February, 9 PM. Article deposited, 1 small box. Loan amount paid, 10 shillings. Redemption deadline, 13 April, 9 PM. So this photographic print is a redemption ticket. 13th February, that could be significant. It was just 2 days before the murder on the omnibus, wasn't it? A small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it? Bruno, if Mr. McGilded still had the ticket, then presumably he never redeemed the article. So do you think the box might still be present somewhere in the shop? Ah, yes. If it's something McGilded deposited, we need to investigate. A little bit of a small hint, eh, Ginny? Alright. Oh, hello, what's all this, eh? This is where it happened then, last night. That's right. The 2 thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. Apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything happened. There's no sign of a disturbance. No, you're right about that, actually. In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking. I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals, all dressed in black. Well, that's very specific wording. How corrupt are the coppers, hmm? How corrupt is Scotland Yard? I wonder. Oi, I heard that. Oh, Inspector. Good morning. Suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I thought you'd assign extra men to the beat around here, Grexy. And look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police duty. Oh! Your ladyship! No one told me you were coming. I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care. Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are tending to him as we speak. And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person, the virus. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are me manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice refreshing fruit juice. Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Grexy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me if you'd like some. Ah, yes. Refreshing. British tea. Ah, lovely. Thank you very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. Well, that was very amusing. Alright, Mr. Tobias Gregson, give me the rundown. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina? You're going to charge her? That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me. Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid... Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the? And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you? How could you? How? How could you possibly know that? I had a feeling, that's all. Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison. She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key to the jailer, of course. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know. I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy. No visiting at all. Oh. The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood. Oh no. He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so. But a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down. So Sholmes is human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They gotta stop that bleeding. But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better? Of course, your ladyship. He'll be as right as rain before you know it. Really? How do you know? How do I know? Well, because... Of course. Yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why. We better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Oh dear. Please don't die, Hurley. I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theatre. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Out of it, Sunshine. Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper and we don't go in for favoritism. But he's right. You do treat us differently. It's because of those Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes stories, that's why. Oh. I crop up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson. Oh, well yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's. What did you write about the Inspector, Iris? I don't remember, really. It was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he puts it. Yep, that is in fact the line. Oh, did I write that? And you know what that one line did for me? The very next month my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you. Ooh, that's amazing. All because everyone at the Yard reads him. They read all the Sherlock Sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me. Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me. Can you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective would say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying about it. He's like the anti-Gumshoe. He's like trying to hang on to his increased salary. Bless him. But that would never happen, Grexy. Every month when the new Rants magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages. Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves. This is a fun dynamic. Ah, lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. Teetotal. Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, what is it? I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. An important message. I wonder what it could be. Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant. Here's Susie. Is she alright? She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Head off? Where? To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. Ah. Yes, of course. I've forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey, and to go and meet her there. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a blooming messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. Why did Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice? She didn't tell me. But I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her right straight away. Yeah. Well, as far as the police is concerned, I think if there is some corrupt elements in it, I don't think Gregson's one of them. Probably not. I mean, if he is, then that would be a pretty big twist because he's a protagonist in the Sherlock Holmes stories, you know. That would be a pretty big departure. But maybe that's exactly what they're trying to make me think, you know. It's not like they haven't subverted the story so far. You know what? Yeah, up in the air. It could be not. I'm really not sure. But so far he seems genuine enough. If a little silly because of the whole magazine thing. Alright. Strong heart, though. He's giving me Demon Gun vibes. I wonder. Yes. No matter how many times I come in here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal. How so? I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you? Maybe he thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust. Yes, thank you very much. Who's giving you Demon Gun vibes? Lord Strongheart? I don't know. It's just the energy I'm getting from him. He hasn't actually done anything sus, except be vaguely overbearing, but it's, you know, he still has that energy. There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart. I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious. Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt we have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. Wait, what did he just say? Your return to your homeland? Susato-san! Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. What was all that about? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why were you talking about Mrs. Sato's return to her homeland? And... tomorrow? Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial? You mean... she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. Miss Susato, what's all this about? Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it has. That's not what I asked! What happened? Why are you leaving? It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no! Professor Mikotoba? If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Rinosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yumi University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news. 10 days ago, father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Mr. Sato's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. Well, that's a pickle. Who's gonna be our legal assistant? Iris? Well, she is our investigative assistant right now, right? Or are we gonna be alone in court tomorrow? I wonder. So Gina has been charged. She'll have to appear in court. Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours later. Gina? Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases. It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart. In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave now. Of course, Lord Strongheart. Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday. It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. Yeah, he's definitely got some vibes going on, you know. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me. There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is? It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation. But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation of a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and the defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. What a day. Gina charged of murder, Susato-san about to leave. Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie... You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you, in whatever way I can. Thank you, Miss Susato. That's a very pensive look. I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go. If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can, as a lawyer. So I guess that's what that telegram was about then. Yeah, that would make sense that she doesn't want us to read it. If it concerned her dad and his health, that's perfectly reasonable. But wow, okay. I guess this story beat is to get Susato away from Naruhodo, so he's going to end up alone in court tomorrow, eh? Just to make things even tougher for us. Alright, back to Gina. Ah! Hello again, Gina. What are you lot here for now? To have the muzzle of the grenade launcher shoved in our faces again, obviously. I think I need to improve the way you lower the ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look! You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Eh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I've had so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie. Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Huh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it! By admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request is a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Sight blocks. Gina, I could be wrong, but... is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted. Ah. The case of the mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because... in that trial... I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? Some real meat going on now, huh? Okay. I'm rubbing my hands together. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got old of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilda was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it. What sort of things did you lie about? Was I hiding under the seat that night? That was the truth. It was pitch black in the little cubbyhole. Couldn't see a thing. And then... I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilda discovered you. Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There wasn't much light to see me by, but when I look at me hands, I had the cove's blood all over him. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak. You had his blood on your hands? In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Then, Mr. McGilda started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were, and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, only, that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? He made me swear, for what I seen and what I heard. And about what it was gonna do after the Cope was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarper before the coppers showed up. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. You said McGilda made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGilda sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but... it was when I heard the thud of the cove's hitting the floor. I let a little scream, you see. Couldn't help it. McGilda heard that and dragged me out by my arm. And that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer where I had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. A disc? Do you mean... yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at Windybanks. So the music box disc was there, on the floor of the omnibus. Not for long. McGilda had spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartish and stuffed it inside his pocket. He stuffed it in his inside pocket. So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bog trotter told me. I went to mutter a word of it to no one. Because it was so dark under that seat in the cab. I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was McGilder getting on board. Nah, not only him. Oh, so I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. In that case, it would seem likely that it was McGilder and the victim, Mr. Trice-fired Mason. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilder claimed that he slept during the carriage ride. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tightness and I always succumb to it. And your own testimony, Gina, supported his. Okay, it was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that weren't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time, in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels are too loud. That still tells us something. Mr. McGilder and the victim knew each other. So Mr. McGilder was lying, as I suspected. I knew it weren't gonna take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, McGilder told me to eye back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. He took hose from up top, ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right. Now after they're gone, McGilder asked the driver to do him a favor. A favor? Now then, fella. I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it at a nearby pawnbroker. If you troubles, let's see now. Aye, I'll give you 10 guineas. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yep, you got it. It was Windibanks. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop his coat as fast as he could. So there was no one left in the carriage. McGilder opened the box under the seat. Let me get out of there. Enough of our conditions. I see. What would McGilder's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling us so, not for anything. But what I saw and what I heard. And there's something else as well. There's more? Yeah. This is the most important thing, he said. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? He didn't see anything at all. At all. You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Aye. The fiend's taking me overcoat to deposit it for pawnbrokers hereabouts. And I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. You understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right. And I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. Get it to hang on to it till then. Is that clear? Whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, get it to go to the pawn shop. Windibanks, so it is. And you're to extend the loan before the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited, and any old fiend could come along and buy it. Eh? But I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. If you go against me... Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you're to be visited by the police, I'm no doubt. The coppers? Aye. They'll come asking you to take the stand in court, to testify as a witness. let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it that you might say? And what is it that you won't? Witness tempering. After he'd gone over it all, I piked it. Got as far away from there as I could. He ate the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGill had planned it, and coerced Gina into giving false testimony. I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In the big old courtroom, I told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so that he couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew he had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean, Mr. McGill would have... In an heartbeat, he could have had a lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then where could we gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But, I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. Favor? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Eh? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see. You what? Hurley's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right? That's why I want to investigate, for Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything. Right. So what you're saying is, if I signed a bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it? Something like that. Mr. Sato? Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. Hey. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing. Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene of Windybanks now. Yes. And perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Actually, can I look at them? Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely putting on a tough face. She's a street kid, you know? Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Windybanks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Well, we're getting a to be continued here? Wow, this is a really long one. Oh, right. Right, yeah, Grady's attorney doesn't do investigation trial anymore, right? They just do long investigation, long trial. That's why it's so long. Right, right. Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Well, technically, we're in investigation 4 now, so... Here we are again at the scene of the crime. Now to trust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. I'm the investigation's prisoner for now. That I am, that I am. It's alright though. We're uncovering things. We're learning stuff. Yeah, it definitely allows a different pace of storytelling. I actually appreciate it. Since, like, you know, you don't have like anything where like, oh, you can't investigate this until day 2, that kind of thing. So it actually makes things a little more like you get all the information from the start. At least like the physical clues, you know, stuff that comes out during the trial, it comes out during the trial, but you don't have anything that's physically on the scene and you can't look at it, or like it doesn't make sense until later, you know, in that sense. Actually, chat, you know, give me just a moment. I need some more water. I need to hydrate. I've been talking a lot, so 1 second, I'll be right back, right? You can stare at Gregson's lovely mug for a while. Alright, chat. I have hydrated. We're ready to keep going. Gregson implies the existence of Greg father. Well, it also implies the existence of Greg daughter. But you don't see him complaining about that, do ya? Listen now. You should go home and get some rest. Here you are, Grexy. Here are the representation papers. Your ladyship! How? I don't believe it. How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash to sign that? I salute you. That is good work, that is. I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue. Ah, top of the morning. Good. Top of the morning. Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes, I hardly feel tired at all. I'm fit as a fiddle, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime then? Do as you please. You know where it happened. Through that door behind the counter. Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Windybank and Gina. Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then. Will you be investigating in the storeroom as well, Inspector? If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever, even if the lab's working round the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the yard needs to investigate urgently. It must be what Strongheart means by far more serious matters before. So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, sunshine. Come then. Let us not waste any time. Alright, cool. Can we talk to the coppers? The police is scouring every inch of this place by the look of it. Instructions on the yard are to examine every article in the shop and every ledger and book of accounts. Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely. They've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We're sifting through it all in shifts at least, but still. We're working through the night, that's for sure. Even then, we'll barely have scratched the surface. Crime in the pawnbrokers. It must be every policeman's worst nightmare. It's every corporal's worst nightmare, you know, a crime in the pawnbrokers. A few of them. Alright. This guy has something with him. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. Shh, keep it down. Oh, sorry. There's a major clue to see. Really? Then we must tell Grexy at once. But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer. Stuck here? What do you mean? I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over me shift. They really have a tough time, the British police. That doesn't stop us investigating, though, does it? No, I suppose not. I'm fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. Yeah. It's got blood all over it. Ah, look here! Oh yes, a bullet hole. And I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall. Presumably, Mr. Winterbank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time. Oh, well. Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that. Sorry? It's all there in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, you know. Isn't that right, Iris? Did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest? Well, he doesn't do it often. It is quite a dangerous pastime. He doesn't do it often! He shouldn't even do it once! Look at that for now, Runo. Let's examine this bullet. What's that around the bullet hole? Is it blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar. Aha! I may well be able to help with that. What? There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runo? Ugh. I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris. I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see. When it comes to blood, we're all different types. Yes, what a scientific observation. So you need this. Oh no. What is that scary looking thing? Hurley and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But I'm going to call it Luminol Testing Fluid. Is that where we're going with this? But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Are we doing Luminol? Watch. Oh, it is Luminol. Oh, the color of the bloodstain has changed. There, does it make sense now? Yes, I think I'm starting to understand. Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see. Yes, how wonderful. The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at in a flash. Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Okay, so not quite luminol, but something else. Like, it's related, I guess. Are we gonna spray it all over the screen? Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Ginny would say it's bleeding great. So, whose blood are we looking at then? Well, all the chemical does is turn the blood a different color, so... just find someone whose blood turns the same color, and you'll know who it belongs to in a flash. It's more like 2 flashes, really, isn't it? 1 flash or 2, this could well turn out to be a very valuable clue. So we must make a note of it in the court record. Blood samples portfolio. Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio. As long as I have reagent left, sure. Okay, so I guess we're not actually physically spraying it everywhere. We're just gonna get it added. Alright, fair enough. Green blood. It just seems wrong somehow. Oh, there are all sorts of different colors. There are pretty pinks and purples too, you know. Like I said, everyone's blood is different. I wonder what color my blood would turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. Alright. What about the stereoscope? This is that strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes. It's called a 3DS. It makes you think. When Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are, though I'm not confident I can get it closed again. Oh yes, it's a folding stereoscope. Really? This is a stereoscope? Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, he used the great big contraption over there. Ah, well, that's what used in public houses and things like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is a much simpler design for use at home. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself. I wonder if I can make money out of these in Japan. It would be keeping my toilets sparkling clean anyway. What is with the Naruhodos and keeping toilets clean? Alright. Box. That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Runo? Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan. Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen? What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound? It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks. Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Grexy to have a word. Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy. Yes, it's a really strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example? Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures among all the junk, you know? Are you alright, Runo? Oh, it's just, well, looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole, but when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you owned them, even that horse statue. That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever. Hang on! Wait, chat! Chat! Is that the Thinker? That looks like the Thinker. Is that the Thinker? The Thinker, I think? I think the time is murder o'clock. Shoutouts to Larry Butts. He doesn't have an ancestor in this game, does he? Something else in here. Shovel. Or desk, I guess. There's the article ledger here, and Mr. Windybank's notes, and what's this? It looks as though someone has left a little photographic print behind. Oh, look in the back. There's some writing. Is there? Ooh, show us, Susie. Show us. 15 February, 10:30 PM. Article deposited, 1 gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid, £1. Redemption deadline, 15 April, 10:30 PM. Gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1. Said he was very fine coat. In fact, I think... Quick comparison. 13 April, 9 PM. 13 Feb, 9. 13 April, 9. 15 Feb, 15 April. This was the day of the murder. This is the one that Beppo deposited. So that's probably Beppo's fingerprint on it. Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday. And is still wearing. Which belonged to McGilded. I would never have expected a redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though. It seems Mr. Windybank just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have to hand. But this photograph of a cat, it looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently. Oh, yes, you're right, very recently. It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier. Of course, I was forgetting that she gave us that print. Well, what are you waiting for then, Miss Naruhodo? Get it out! Alright, let the cogs turn. Yes, they are exactly the same. No, they're slightly different. We need a 3DS! Look at this. Hehe, I've got it. These two photographs hide an amazing secret. A secret? What does she mean? You must tell us, Iris, at once. Hehe, do you really want to know? Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. Alright, here you go. Present. No? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there's that stereoscope right over there. We can just go pick it up, right? Alright, Iris. Tell us how the 3DS works. So, Iris, about these two photographic prints. The one we found here on Mr. Windybank's counter and the one Gina gave us before. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these two identical prints? Actually, that's not quite right. Sorry. If you look carefully, the two prints aren't the same. Not exactly. They're not. Have another look at them now. Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other? I think so. It's very subtle though. But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints? Ah, well, it's because they're a set, you see. No, I don't. This pair of photographs is meant to be used in the stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment. Ah, stereoscope. Whatever feels to have heard about that word before recently, we literally just did. Oh, yes. That's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday. You see? There it is, just over there. Ah, yes, of course. That magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch. Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions. What? Really? Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? No, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful. Then I'll be able to tell you. She's over the moon, bless her. Should we let her explain, though? We really need to carry on investigating the scene. I, for one, simply have to know. Chat, let me guess. On the original 3DS version, this was where they told you to turn on the 3D slider, right? But they probably rewrote that since we're no longer on the 3DS. But I'm assuming that's probably what it is. Have you ever considered, Runo, how I see depth in the world around us? Well, I just opened them, and it works. But the reason it works is because we have two eyes. Two eyes. Shocking. If you try closing just one eye at a time, I think you see straight away. What you see with your left eye, and what you see with your right eye are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye, and that was probably the two layers they used for the stereoscopic 3D effect. They probably just disabled one layer and disabled the other layer. You know what? Creative use of the 3DS technology back in the day. 100% that's what it is, I can already guess. Yes, the position of objects seem to shift slightly. Exactly, and in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the two views into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see. My brain is really amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me. Ah, I think I see. So the pair of photographs consists of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick. So, if you can persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'll be able to see depth in these prints. Yes, Runo, you're beginning to understand. And the stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that. Yes, but as long as you have two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all. You can, really. How to view stereoscopic prints. Refer to the 3DS manual. Locate the 3D slider on the side of the Switch. Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh yes, I'm dying to have a go. Susato-san really loves this kind of thing. You need to be able to cross your eyes, that's the main thing. Can you both do that? Cross my eyes? I think I can. Watch me, and see if you can copy. Make your eyes do this. Alright, let me try. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh my god. Oh no. I don't... Yeah, this is probably... Screenshot moment. This is the thumbnail. This is the thumbnail. 100%. Yeah. I'm guessing, like, on the original version... Yeah, I'm guessing on the 3DS, this is the part where they tell you to turn off the 3DS slider. And this is probably new, because, like, we're no longer on a stereoscopic 3D console. But yeah, that's really funny. Wonderful! Now it's your turn, Runo. The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both your eyes at the same time. Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eyed. Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try looking at let's try looking at the prints. Start by staring at one print and slowly crossing your eyes. You should see two overlapping images, like this. You try it now, Runo. I'm just going to have to give it a try, I suppose. Oh, we're not gonna actually do it. We're not gonna actually do it, like... I was going to try crossing my eyes. Although my other eye is hidden. Well, I mean, not unless I tilt my model this way, then you can see my other eye here. I'm gonna go cross-eyed, chat. I'm gonna go cross-eyed. Let me see if the model picks it up. Did it work? I couldn't see. It's like, look, my model is like a mirror. I can't actually see what my model is doing if I'm looking somewhere else. I don't know if it worked or not. Whatever. Oh, okay, no, now we can do it. Put the pair of prints side by side like this and then try crossing your eyes again. The prints should slowly merge together until... they form a new single image in the center. Oh, yes! It's Naruhodo, it works! I can see it in the middle now. It looks so real! Oh, I could look at it all day! I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt. Your turn, Runo. Pretend you're looking through the two pictures and slowly cross your eyes. Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle. Like this, is it? Alright. I'm gonna try it, chat. Hang on. I think I'm sitting too close to my monitor. Hang on. Hang on a sec, chat. I'm gonna lean back. It didn't work, chat. My eyesight's not good enough. Stereoscopic 3D skill issue, I'm sorry. I can't do it. There, you managed it. So now you know how stereoscopic images work. Well... I'm guessing it's probably just for fun. I don't suppose there was a clue hidden in the 3D image of that cat, was there? Hopefully not. Oh, they probably adapt it for us otherwise. They should have given out, like, stereoscopes with the physical copy of the game. Ow, my eyes. Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. Damn, I'm stuck in the bad ending now. Oh no, chat. See, this is what happens when you're... This is what happens when you're a 2D. I'm gonna miss out on a 10-hour-long cat storyline. Damn it. Well, you know what? Since this is a result of me being a 2D anime figure. If I can't see the cat, then I shall become the cat. There we go. Well. There we go. That's how you get the broom closet ending. Dude, the broom closet ending is my favorite! It's the best one. What ending did you get, though? Personally, I think broom closet endings are underrated. Well, this is the penance now. Since we couldn't see the cat, we have to be the cat for the rest of the stream. And maybe the next stream too, if I feel like it. They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly. No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist. For people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here and set the pair of photographs in this stand at the back end. It's still amazing even though I know roughly how it works now. Okay, they're just showing it to us. Alright. Thank you. Thank you, Capcom. Because I was not going to be able to do that. Not on a big screen monitor that's in front of me. Well, Londoners seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently. But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them. But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so. In any case, stereoscopic pictures. I never even heard of them until yesterday. Man, the 3DS! What a wonderful piece of technology. We've certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need. Well, now that we have the second print. I mean, it's clearly a bloody thumbprint. There's another though. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here. I have noticed. The red smear, you mean? Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Susato-san picked up on that. Well, in that case, yes, we need Iris. We should show this to her before we forget. Ah, alright. Okay. Iris, please spray this. Spray the luminol. The not luminol. Oh, that looks like blood. I would say it's from a gloved finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather. Well, don't worry, Reno. You can leave the rest to me. Oh my god, she shot us! In 3D! Purple! Look at that. Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it? You simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point. Well, this particular stain of blood... Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is? I could probably guess. Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the color it turned, but with a little deduction. That's right. I think it's clear. Iris, you know as well? You first, Reno. Who do you think it belongs to? Alright, I believe that this is the blood of... Trice-fired Mason. You don't sound very sure of yourself the way you trailed off there. No, it is Trice-fired Mason, I'm pretty sure. Well, it was 2 months ago now in that case. And of course I never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely Trice-fired though. The victim of the omnibus case. Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Trice-fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago. Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windybanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the blood stain was already on it at the time. So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. It certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilded had no injuries at the time anywhere on his body. From which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason. Mr. Naruhodo, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes. Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope. Yes, I think you're right, Bruno. Very well. Let's make a note of this. Oh, we're just confirming it? Okay, we're just not... It's like, most likely Mr. Mason's. We're just saying, definitely Mr. Mason's. I mean, small detail. It doesn't really matter, but, you know. That's how I would write it, most likely, rather than definitely. Okay. Anything else down here? The ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? It must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in pawn. It's too much to think about. Better to sell it all and have a clear head if you ask me. But clearly Mr. Windybank was very careful when it came to the articles in his care. The glass on the floor isn't relevant, I guess? Alright, doesn't look like there's anything else. Behind that door. Wait, hang on. Chat, that's a real-ass dog. Whose dog is that? That is a real dog in that photo on that table. Is it one of the developers' dogs? Yo, someone help me look it up. That's definitely it's probably a developer's dog. I want to know whose dog that is. I'm not gonna look it up myself because I might run into spoilers. So somebody else look it up for me. Yeah, the dog right there, right there, below the copper's face. See the dog in the photo? Doggo. Somebody look up whose dog that is. It's not Miso, I know that for sure, because, yeah, Miso is a Pom. And that's not a Pom, so it's not Shu Takumi's dog. That much I know. It's not Shu Takumi's dog, so it's someone else's dog. Help me find out whose that is while I keep going. It's the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Grexy said. Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. I still say he committed die after losing stuff. Okay. Alright, I won't keep up that thing. Mr. Windybank face down on the floor with Gina beside him. And true, it would be a weird place to shoot himself. It's not through the head and through the back. As the accused legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo. We must make a thorough investigation. Yes, of course. And we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime. Don't worry. If there are clues in there, I'll find them. Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely. Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windybank's life was taken in this very room only last night. Wait, Inspector! What is it now, Sunshine? You took one look at me and tried to run away. You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped-up little defense lawyer, do ya? Well... I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her. So you weren't running away from me. You were running away from a 10-year-old. I'm afraid this is all a little much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector. Eh? Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? I don't think that went very well. Bye! Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get under my feet. And we have investigating to do ourselves. Yes. I'd like to hear more about of what socially inept Inspector has to say. Oh, Hurley. And inquire into how Mr. Sholm's operation is going. Alright. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? Shah! You've got eyes, haven't you? Use them! It is what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand? So, Grexy, what do you make of the crime scene here? Oh yes, your ladyship. Do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, at shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside. So it was locked from the inside. The lock appeared to be broken now, though. Was that the police officer's doing? Quite right, ma'am, quite right. He took the liberty of smashing the door in, as humbly as possible. Oh. As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor. Thuswise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child. Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector. Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was caught up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. And I'm afraid to say, she had the gun that was used in her hand. No! Presumably, it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now. In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well. What? The key to the storeroom? And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector? Correct. All which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that it's all some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Yeah. This is like... He's definitely turning to a Gumshoe type character. Right? Slowly, bit by bit. It's like Iris is the Edgeworth to Grexon's Gumshoe. Grexy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he? Well, the thing is, don't mince your words, Inspector. Please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is... No. The operation's done and dusted. It's just that... Well... Out with it! Yes, ma'am. They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing. Renders the whole body insensitive. The whole body... Anesthetized. Is that even possible? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep. Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for tooth extraction. The trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for them to gnaw it off, or so I hear. And now that the op's finished, they He couldn't get it to wake up, apparently. Oh my! No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in the system or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes around again. Hurley. The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you. What a surprise. Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. Okay, thank you for the information, Inspector. Now it's time for us to look around. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them. I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings. Look. Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be, if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policemen shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, Sunshine. Alright, let's look at this. The police have marked the position of the body of a chalk line. Poor Mr. Windybank. He was a nice old man. Well, he was shot just once through the heart. Most likely the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. This must be his blood then. Ah! I don't like to ask at such a wretched time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps... Don't worry, Susie. I'm ready for action. Take that, player! Blue! So, now I know the color the chemical turns when it reacts with Mr. Windybank's blood. And it doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop. No, but let's add the sample to the others we've already collected anyway. Might be Holmes's blood, I guess. Sholmes's blood. Iris? Don't worry, I'm alright. But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely. This is a revolver. A real one. And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windybank's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Runa look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh. And I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windybank with this yesterday, didn't we? Yeah. He was trying to summon a persona. It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand. Mr. Windybank told us he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired. So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. Out of all the articles in this storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. Ah! What is it, Iris? That's the box file my manuscript was being kept in. Oh. Oh! Iris' unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely, that's not what all this... Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. You must check inside the box. At once. Yes. Ah! It was there. Iris' story was there. Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris? Yes. I mean, of course I believe Hurley when he said he deposited it here, but still. It's a relief to actually see it. Really? Because that's not a very well hidden frown. information leak, hmm? Okay, so he actually... Yeah, okay, he actually wasn't lying. This was actually here. The Hound of the Baskervilles. How did Susato-san know the exact title of this unpublished story? I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that is still a question that's not yet been answered, has it? I'm trying to peek. I'm trying to peek. Okay. Just wondering if there's like anything relevant in there. Okay, keys, doors, revolver, bicycle. It's the overcoat one. One small box. Okay, that's not... Obviously that's not the box because... yeah, it's a small box that fits in a pocket, so it's not the same box. Inspector, do you know anything about... Here, take a look at this. Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think? You don't tend to share, Sunshine, not at the general public. In that case, Grexy, how about some herbal tea? Ah, lovely. Not very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. You don't mind sharing that, then? Okay, yeah, he doesn't have anything to say about this. He doesn't have anything new to say either. Present this, I guess? Is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest? Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles. A most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating. And, I don't suppose... Would there be any mention of my humble self in the title this time? Good question. I can't really remember. I see. Well, why would you, your ladyship? I'll just await this publication with eager anticipation. You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable. You looking to be arrested, Sunshine? I didn't mean it like that. And even if I did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you? Okay. Doesn't have anything relevant to say about that. What about this? Nothing to say about that. Okay. Well, actually... If you let your concentration slip, you might miss what people say. Yeah, alright, I think we're still... I think there's still stuff we need to mention here. About this. Nope, not the blood samples. We tried the representation papers, right? The pawnbroker? Inspector, what do you make of this? Ah, what have we here then? A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of the stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is the ticket from Beck Gilded Silvercoat, the one that little diver turned up with yesterday. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Really? Think you know better than me, do ya? No, I didn't mean to, We're almost right, Grexy. It isn't the same ticket. Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. I never doubted you, your ladyship. So, what's all this about then, if I may be so bold to ask? This is a second ticket. A second one. It seems that Mr. McGilder in fact had another article in storage here at Windy Banks. Is that right? I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. Right, there we go. This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilder's overcoat. Eh? You mean to tell me? Yes, there was more than just a music box disc, it seems. I should have insisted on the lad taking it back to the yard and examining it properly. Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilder deposited another article here with Mr. Windybank. Yes, I can see it written here. A small box, was it? Do you have any idea where it is, Craxy? Any idea at all? There's another article belonging to Mr. McGilder. It could be an important clue. Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please, stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes, all full of hope and expectation. It's too much pressure. I'll lose my marbles, I will. I'll go barking. This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector. That's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There is one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it? Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be in here then. That's right. It's been forfeited. Which means it could be on the shelves in the front of the shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale. Yes, the shelves in the front. We must search them at once. You're wasting your time. Oh? There are dozens of little boxes out there. Hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been McGilder's. That information's not written in the ledger. Well, I think we should at least have a look just in case. Of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure. This is getting old. Dong! Ah! I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Windybank set up such a wicked trap? I doubt he set it out to scare anyone. Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon. Oh? Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind. Don't you remember, Runo? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer. Really? Did I say that? Yes, you did. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching. In that case, we better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. Oh, I guess that's it for the... That's it then. It might be that music box. What about that box? Might be that box. Yes, this is where all the items that have been forfeited by the original owners are offered for sale. That's right. They've all got little price labels on them, but there are so many. I wonder if the small box this ticket was for is still on the shelf somewhere. The box that McGilder deposited here just over 2 months ago. Even if it were, finding it promises to be very troublesome indeed. There are so many boxes, it could be any one of them. Mr. Sholmes said that the pawnbroker's was the safest place to store anything, more secure than a bank vault. So perhaps this small box of Mr. McGilder's contains something of very great value. Well, if that's the case, he'd probably have kept it locked. So then, we need to find every box for lock and break them all open. Hiya! That sort of misconduct will get you arrested. I won't let that happen. This takes me back. It's been some time since Susato-san last threw me. Alright, we got one more. Okay, guess that's all we have right now. Is Sholmes still gonna be out? I guess he's still gonna be out. Let's just take a quick peek here. Yep, he's not here. Back to the prison then. I suppose he's going to be out of commission for the rest of the case as well then. Maybe. He might come bursting in at the last moment with some new evidence, like Like Von Karma in 2-4. You know, like Francisca did. Who knows? Ah, Gina, good. You're back. Ah! The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful? Eh? Oh, didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate in Windy Banks. Oh, right. Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy. What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying, that I did it. That's not... Gina, I came to ask you for your final decision. Eh? What decision? About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not? I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you. Right, I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The worry is just so hard to bear. Know anything about this? Do you see this pawnbroker's ticket, Gina? It's the one you took to Windy Banks, isn't it? The one for that black overcoat that you're wearing now. Eh? What, that? I don't know. They all look the same to me, those tickets. Surely not. Well, this one has a very obvious mark on it that would appear to be blood. Eh? Does that ring any bells? I don't know. They all look the same to me, blood. And they all sound the same to me, these answers. Suspicious. What about this one? Did she say anything about this one? Gina, I'd like to thank you for signing these papers. If you want to thank me, you can do it once you've got me off the hook. Alright then. Wait, what? Shouldn't she be thanking me then? You know what, Mr. Naruhodo? It ain't good manners to expect thanks if you do someone a favor. I know that! She's as tricky with words as she is with her fingers. Oh, well, she said yes. I mean, we know she's going to say yes, but still, got a little ahead of ourselves there. Oh, alright then. Blimey, give it a rest of the eyes, Iris. So come on then, fill us in. Who done it? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say. You don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime. And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know why you broke into Windy Banks that night. Looks like I'm gonna have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason. And thrust it in Gina's face. Or I could present it to her calmly, I suppose. Well, I mean... Did I not do that already? Present this again? Okay, maybe it's this one? We found this in Mr. Windybank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris' latest story. Ah. Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Windybanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night? Eh? You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Ah! Why don't you tell us what happened, please? Is it really just to check for Iris? Was her being there just a huge misunderstanding? Oh dear. Is the manuscript not going to be relevant until later then? I guess that means no leak. No info leak yet. We already have the representation papers and other documents we need. All we have to do is hand them over to the court clerk. That is, if you allow me to represent you in court tomorrow. Nah, don't bother. Ginny, rip them up and chuck them, would ya? Them representation papers or whatever they're called. The cell ain't fancy enough to have a bin. So, what will you do in court tomorrow? I'll be fine on me own. I don't think you will be. Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. This is one stubborn pickpocket. Wait, she said okay though. Get me off the hook. She said okay though. I guess we got a little ahead of ourselves. But yeah. I mean, I didn't know that it would be or wouldn't be relevant until later, you know? So fair enough. Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story, it's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured, it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh yes, at least 5,000 pounds. What? So, you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you? No. Ginny, how could you? Well, wait, no, hang on. Of course I wasn't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the mantle script, or whatever you call it, really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place. For Iris' sake. Isn't that right? Ah! We knew what you'd done from the start, Gina. Of course we did. But... I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it. Well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you said the night before. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Fire-faced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling you, the mantle script ain't at Windy Banks, man. You'll soon see if you've had your look. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to adopt him. Oh, Ginny, that was so sweet of you. Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It weren't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all. You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest, if he really deposited the manuscript of Windy Banks. It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris' lot ain't like mine. She's got her dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon it's gotta be harder. That's why she writes her stories. About her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying. Stories about Daddy? You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective, so much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner? Well, that's how I see it, yeah. You're so thoughtful and so kind, Ginny. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will ya? I hate all this chummy nonsense. Do you hear? I hate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarpa. I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of their overcoat are some very suspicious red stains. Well, brown, but Dried blood. What? Why you look at me like that? I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to China now. Oh, we're presenting it again? Okay. You see this pawnbroker's ticket, Gina? It's the one you took to Windy Banks, isn't it? The one for that black overcoat that you're wearing now. Eh? What, that? I don't know. They all look the same to me, those tickets. Surely not. Oh, this one has a very obvious mark on it. That would appear to be blood. Eh? Does that ring any bells? I don't know. All looks the same to me, blood. They all sound the same to me, these answers. It's suspicious. Not that one then? Okay, hang on. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet. What? But blood, Mr. Naruhodo. You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that spattered from Mr. Windybank when he was shot last night? Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get the results much faster than anything else. Eh? Take it easy, Iris. Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot. Oh. Oh my. What the? Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches some of the samples you've already collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Aha! Yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago. I knew it. What? What are you on about? The victim? What you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Oi! Would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story! You can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilder's overcoat. But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said it in his testimony. Said this in his testimony. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to have a fellow bleeding from its stomach? Well, I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from McGilder trying to pull the victim to his feet. No. If that was what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat. The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that if it spattered over McGilder's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth for long enough, but there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilder. Mr. Naruhodo, that horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen? Bruno, did you believe him though? Did you believe Mr. McGilder was innocent? I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon. A weapon? Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson. You mean Kazuma-sama? Listen, Rinosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief. Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. What's funny, Gina? Oh, sounds like in this empire of Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Well, come on. Look at the mess it's got you into, believing in that bog trotter. Yes, I inadvertently helped the murderer walk free. Well, at least you've learned your lesson now, eh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what he wants and all now. Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, a lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened. I mean, it's pretty obvious she didn't do it. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial. Eh? Are you half-baked? Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth. Seriously, Mr. Naruhodo. Didn't you hear all what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just trip off my tongue. And I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it. Gina, I do understand why you chose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who will never let you down. Eh? It's true that I'm just a student of law and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I am completely on your side. What? What do you expect me to say to that? Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you like. You Eastern Lot are... I don't know what you are. I don't get ya. Gina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She never admits it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think. Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice. Miss Usato. Somebody is there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before. What? Blimey, you're sharp, eh? Suppose we're using one of those mystic Japanese arts, like the art of stealth I've heard so much about. If anyone's being stealthy, it was you, Inspector. Grexy! Oh dear me, I am most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you. How long have you been listening in on our conversation? Good grief! Listening in? No, no, no. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived. This very minute, not a moment earlier. It's all it is, nothing untoward, nothing at all. After hours? Is it that late already? So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye, bye, and bye. That's a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for her ladyship. Oh, but I wanted to have a chat. I'm terribly sorry, what time is pressing at the minute? Oh, I see. That's a shame. If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, Lord Strongheart will... well... Emergency? Lord Strongheart? Nothing! Forget I said anything! Anyway, I'm off. Alright, Grexy, if you have to. But let's chat soon. Wait, hang on. Hang on. I think it could just be my... Could just be my imagination, but I think I saw something in his sleeve. Let me pull the VOD back up. I could just be seeing things, but I think I saw something for a second. What is that? Was that always there? Sorry. I am just curious. Let me get another shot of Gregson from earlier in the... Skipping around. Give me a sec, chat. Just a second. No, I'm fairly certain that wasn't there before. Sus. No, never mind, it was always there. Well, okay. I'll just post it up, I guess. Hang on. Give me a sec, chat. So, what I noticed... Oh, the notebook in his hat, that was there since earlier. Alright, so here's the thing I noticed. I don't know if it's relevant or not. But, I mean... I'm just gonna put it up here since I've gone to the trouble of fishing it up. Yeah, that's a weird thing in his sleeve there. But I guess that could just be a stylized thing. So I didn't notice if it was there before, but I checked earlier in the VOD, and yes, it was there. When he was like on the investigation, he was there earlier in the day, but I don't know if it was there in his last the last time around. So wouldn't be able to confirm that. Anyways, yeah, he always had the notebook in his hat though, I'm pretty sure. Please, my pleasure. There's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere. Like, in any case, whatever he has in his hat or up his sleeve or whatever, it was there since earlier today. So, I'll have to go and look at like the previous VODs to see if he's got anything different on him. But I could be. I'm probably just overthinking it. Gregsy's so funny. He says such silly things. It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court. I must attend to the court's clerk office now before it closes. Yes, of course. Thank you, Mr. Sato. Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later. And so our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted. What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Shomata shot before our eyes, Gina was arrested. All on the back of the news that her father had fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon. Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm. And yet, I seem unable to find the words to express any of them. I know exactly what you mean. Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow. One final task. It's just 2 months since we've arrived in London. But we've managed to establish its office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret. I'm so sorry, Susato-san. It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts. I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something. And what would that be? It seems to me, there are many facets to people's personalities. Facets. And like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we see only a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on, for as long as we live. That's so true. Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together. Naruhodo-san, I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark. It's amazing to think it's been just 2 months. You've grown so much. Sorry? Of what? Oh no, it was nothing. Unimportant. Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning? Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 AM. I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station. Absolutely not. Sorry? I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow. Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible, even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean? Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this. What is that? Some huge bundle of documents. It's my notes, from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus. The McGilder case. It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windibank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you. With everything else she's had to think about, Susato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting. It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina. Thank you so much, Susato-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there. Oh! Ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. What is she on about? Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room. Susato-san, I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night. Wait, there's something I need to say. Yeah. What was that? A secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown. Shutdown? Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears. Oh. Susato-san. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes, and as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. Yes, I quite understand. It is a great weight off my mind. Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. My dear Madame. Well, I mean, they're trying to make it look sus, but like, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that she would also want to go say goodbye to Mr. Sholmes and everything, you know, but... Curious. I'll have to go back and look at exactly what they said. In the moment, like, nothing seemed that weird, but... Alright. Yeah, Susato's still hiding something. She knows about the manuscript's name and everything, you know, so... It's nothing malicious, but it's very key overarching info. Yeah, I think it's probably got something to do with the fact that John Watson went over to study, like, medicine under her father, or, like, with her father, so that's probably the connection there. That, like, she actually knows. I think that's how she knows. Like, that's probably the relationship. Sholmes's partner worked with her dad, so that's the link, and they know each other through that link. What exactly the nature of that uh, prior knowledge is, I don't know, or if there even is any prior knowledge. But I mean, that's my best guess right now. But you know, something to see for the future. All right, chat. That was enjoyable, but I'm gonna call it at that for now. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I will see you guys around soon. Peace.